Man, oh man, here I am again making my Johnny Meat weekly video to just keep the fire going. This is all just to keep the fire going. I know you guys are probably tired of every MMA content creator making a video on Johnny Meat, but this has been a weekly thing that everyone in the MMA community has collectively got together to do this. And I think it's a good thing because we need this man stripped. This man is holding the heavyweight belt hostage and he literally does not care. He quite literally does not care that he's holding a hostage. We have him saying that he is retired and look, I have every piece of news that has come out in the last few days, and I'm here to pile it up together and talk about it because this is getting out of hand. The first thing we're going to talk about is this Jon Jones tweet from a few days ago. Just look, I just want you to do one thing through this whole video and just look at Jon Jones tweets and the time this man has been tweeting, because if this is not the most rant-free situation that I've ever seen, I don't know what is, because this man you can see, or he can't sleep. This man cannot sleep at night thinking he's ducking, and he knows he's ducking, and everyone knows he's freaking ducking. It's getting out of hand. But look, let's start with this tweet. Someone said strip John and Tom of both their belts, which is kind of stupid. And Jon Jones replied, "There's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. Shit, I'm 37 years old now. My body hurts everywhere. If I'm being honest, funny how Tommy boys talk zero shit to the stars of his generation, barely mention their names. Are you serious, my brother?" And look, the funniest shit is that the reply to this is actually right here. He look at Tom Aspinall, and he literally has beat Volkov, Pavlovich, Curtis Blades, and Sergey Spivak. This is the top 7. He's only missing 2 people from the top 7 of the heavyweight division. And that's not all. Let's not forget. I know you've heard this a million times, and you obviously know this. Tom Aspinall is literally the interim champion. You have the belt. You guys need to unify. So why would he talk to Cyril Gahn? Why would he talk to Gelton Almeida when he's literally the interim champion? How many times do we have to say this on a weekly basis for you to get it through your through your thick skull? How many times can we possibly say? How many ways and how many ways can we say it to you for you to get it, Johnny Meat? Huh? And I still don't understand why he has his name as Johnny Meat. Like, I literally don't understand the joke behind it. And it's not funny. I just don't understand it. I don't know. Moving on to another tweet. Again, look at the time of these tweets. That's all I need you to do, okay? Just look at the times of this freaking tweets. Obviously, he's replying to this photo, whatever. "I call this photo rant-free. Kept the attention of an entire country while doing nothing at all." Brother, you cannot sleep at night, and you're talking about rent-free. Does he not realize that Tom Aspinall wants the belt? He doesn't necessarily wants to fight John. He just wants to fight for the belt. And who has the belt? Him. Why can he not understand it? How is this hard for this man to understand? That simple little thing. But again, keep in mind on these freaking times on these tweets. I love Twitter that has this feature that tells you the exact time. Like, think about writing this at 4:39 a.m. Seriously. Think about that. Oh my gosh. Moving on to another tweet. Again, just keep looking at the time, man. Just keep looking at the time. Some guy said, "Would Game beat Tom?" And Jon Jones said, "Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I see things like this happen all the time. Fighter allows me to become their whole identity. They're so focused on being the man. Meanwhile, the competition's lurking. The big mouth gets bit in the ass." Does Tom Aspinall have a potty mouth? Does he really shit talk you, Johnny Meats? He literally deserves to fight for the belts. Dana White has even said it. We know he deserves it. He deserves it. Why would he be talking to zero fucking game? Why would he be talking to him? Game literally technically lost to Alexander Volkov. They gave Cyril Game a free win. Okay? And let's be real. Let's be real. That win, that robbery win against Alexander Volkov is looking like it's a setup for the Tom Aspinall fight. Now that I'm not in hindsight because nothing has happened yet, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably just a setup for Tom Aspinall. Let's just be real, because this man absolutely robbed Volkov. Yeah, actually, let's move on to the next tweet. But this is the news right after Francis Ngannou said that he's interested in actually joining the UFC, and Johnny Meat here said, I'm hearing Francis Ngannou is still interested. Now we're talking. That's a real super fight, a clash of champions, not just hype. Hype? Whatever. He held the UFC belt after training mine for over a decade. Two kings from different roads, not just one legend facing a mouth. That's hot right now, but two real legacies colliding. That's the kind of fight that actually adds something special to my story, at least from my point of view. Brother. From your point of view, from your point of view, you're not ducking, which you are. From your point of view, you really think the Francis Ngannou fight will happen, which from someone else that has a normal view knows that that fight will not happen. And you know why it's not gonna happen? Because Dana White is still the president of the UFC. His ego's so high that will never happen. And I'm pretty sure actually Johnny Meat knows this. He really knows this, and he's just stalling. He's just saying anything at this point, brother. He's thinking of Tom Aspinall every single moment of every single day. Literally, he's thinking about Tom Aspinall every single moment of every single day. Just ducking him. He cannot sleep, man. He can't, and it's showing. It really is showing. Moving on to another tweet, and this is actually perfect. I absolutely love the fact that Francis Ngannou had Tom Aspinall's back on this tweet. He said, you take care of the UFC, I'll take care of the PFL, and we'll finally find out who's the king of the heavyweights. Now, the reason he said this is because obviously he knows that Johnny Meats needs to defend his title, or he has to unify his title against Tom Aspinall for them to fight. But it kind of actually also fits perfectly because Francis Ngannou has one more fight under the PFL. So it actually kind of works out if Jon Jones fights Tom Aspinall. Let's say he beats him. Francis Ngannou could contact Dana White, and it could possibly happen, right? It could possibly happen. A super duper freaking fight. It would be absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong. That fight would be a banger, but he needs to get past Tom Aspinall, which 99% of the MMA community doesn't think he will. And he's obviously solidifying it, building a fortress around it, that he can't beat Tom Aspinall because he's literally ducking him. Moving on. I don't think this is before the Francis Ngannou reply. I'm pretty sure he said, you clowns thinking Francis would be that much easier because of the ground game. Tom has no ground game either. Don't worry, guys. Tom Aspinall is just a black belt, guys. Hey, guys, he's just a black belt. But this is his response, actually, to him being a black belt. In English, black belt is like getting a participation ribbon. Dude, how can you disrespect a man on his skills when you're literally ducking him? What the fuck kind of cope am I seeing right now, man? Jesus Christ. I'm shaking my head while making this video. I feel ashamed. I feel gross while making this video, man. This is absolutely disgusting. Moving on. And this is where we get into the juicy stuff, right? This is where we get into the the small details that tell us that this fight is actually was gonna happen, but it fell through and it's not gonna happen. This is Dana White a few months ago, and he got asked what some information about the Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones fights. I'm just gonna let it play and just hear this.
As well as the excitement for the event tomorrow, the hot talking point in British mixed martial arts, and I suppose world martial arts right now, is what's going on in the heavyweight division, because there's British interest with Tom Aspinall. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's...
Give us a little bit of something. Can the fans get excited about the super fight?
I'll tell you what I've been telling you since day one. The fight's going to happen. The fight's going to happen. It's just a matter of when now, and getting it signed and done, and the fight will happen.
Do you have a cut-off point in your mind of when to get that done?
No, it's going to happen. It's done, but it's not done.
Look, man. It's done, but it's not done. Look, I know it makes no sense. Even this guy right here replied, it's done, but it's not done. What the hell? Look, it doesn't make sense at that time, but now we have context why he said it's done, but it's not done. Now that context, I'm going to show it to you. Before I show it to you, I'm just going to play another clip. This is actually a more recent clip from UFC 316 about Jon Jones. Okay, keep in mind that this was a few months ago. Now this is few days ago. Okay, this is a few days ago.
Aspinall. Yeah, it's Aspinall's fight. I mean, we've been talking to this kid forever about it, and it's his fight. Listen, you can't make people fight. If Jon doesn't want to fight, can't make him fight. We can try to make him fight. We can.
Wow. What a change, man. The fight is done, but it's not done. To we can try to make Jon Jones fight. We can't make him fight. And I like how he started off as Tom Aspinall's fight, because you can see that, you know, he knows Tom Aspinall deserves it. He probably, in the negotiations, he was saying like, look, man, I know you want Pereira, I know you want whatever, Francis, whoever the hell you asked, but Tom Aspinall is the one that deserves it, okay? And that's why he said the Tom Aspinall thing at the start, and then, you know, then he said, we can't make him fight, and it's for a reason.
Throw things at him that inspire him to want to fight.
Throw things at him like an insane paycheck.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it. He keeps saying we'll figure it out, but we know, we know, it's not looking good. Moving on to this. This is the same press conference, and this is actually the biggest bomb that we've heard from this fight. Okay, hear the bomb.
What's that?
Like, in your gut, do you think that fight will ultimately end up happening?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it since the beginning, and Jon Jones agreed to do the fight, so.
Jon Jones agreed to do the fight. Hear Dana White's words, because we've never heard Dana White say this before, ever. This is the biggest bomb, and it's crazy because it has been gone like under the radar for some reason. This fight, I don't know if the hype for this fight died or something, because I literally didn't see this go mainstream. You know what I mean?
Jon Jones was offered the deal and accepted the deal.
This clip actually cuts off, but after that, the reporter asked him, okay, he accepted the deal, but did he sign the deal? And Dana White said no. He said no. He did accept the deal verbally, but he didn't sign it with pen and paper. He didn't. And you know what's another piece of news that Dana White didn't tell us? Jon Jones accepted the deal verbally, like you heard here, but he backed out of the deal. He said, no, I do not want to fight Tom Aspinall. He said it. He literally said it. And that's a piece of news that's probably going to come out in the future. You know what happens in the future. Everything comes out, and we know exactly what happens or what happened, why the fight didn't happen and all this. And I don't believe anymore that this fight is happening. I know I got bamboozled the last few months. I really thought this fight was going to happen. I really thought Jon Jones was just playing the game on us all this time. But I can't believe that I was brainwashing myself into thinking that this was some kind of tactic for Jon Jones, or some I don't know, some type of way for him to sell the fight. But this is really him coping about the fact that we know that he's ducking Jon Jones, and he can't hide from that. And it's just embarrassing, man. It really is embarrassing for the heavyweight division, because we haven't seen no movement there for for a year. For a year, and it's just absolutely disgusting. But another thing that Dana White said at UFC 316 is that today, I'm recording this at 6:10. I'm probably it's gonna be uploaded at 6:11. That's the date, by the way. That's not the time. And yeah, man. He said that they were gonna figure it out today, June 10th, and they were supposed to figure it out today. Now, I don't know if we're gonna get the news tomorrow about what they figured out. Today, June 10th. Keep in mind that I'm recording this at 11 p.m., so it's gonna be 12 or tomorrow by the time I upload it. But yeah, man, I don't know when we're gonna hear the news of what happened today. But look, today's the last chance. I really believe not today's the last chance. Okay, technically today is the last chance, but when we hear the news, the last piece of news, I feel like the next piece of news that we get about this fight is the conclusive one. I truly believe, because we're at a point that if they don't make the fight now, the next time we see Tom Aspinall fight is gonna be next year, and I don't think the UFC is gonna want that to happen. So yeah, man. The next piece of news is definitely, look, I'm just gonna say how it is. I think it's just gonna be Gain versus Tom Aspinall. Because even if Dana, yes, it's just not gonna happen. I mean, Dana White literally offered Jon Jones fuck you money. He accepted it and then literally backed out. He literally backed out of fuck you money, and that's just embarrassing, bro. The biggest ducking job I've ever seen in my entire life, man. Embarrassing. But look, with that being said, make sure you guys leave a like on this video if you hate Jon Jones. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you hate Jon Jones, and leave down in the comment section strip Jon Jones. Just don't even say anything else, just say strip Jon Jones, and go along your way. But with that being said, I'll see everyone very, very soon. Goodbye.